Hello, Year 1 designers, Miss Martin here. It's lesson 3 and we're ready to go. So yesterday we made our beautiful flag for our bunting and we joined the fabric using glue. Okay, and today we're going to be learning about sewing, which is the other way to join fabric. We're not actually going to join fabric, we're going to be working on actual sewing. And to do that we need these things. We need a needle, and it needs to be a needle that's quite blunt. We need a pair of scissors, and we need some threads, and we need this piece of cloth with our house drawn on. And what we're going to do is we're going to choose our thread first. You could go for any colour. Green looks nice, orange, yeah, blue. But don't choose the same colour thread as the cloth because you won't be able to see your beautiful stitches. Now we're ready to go. The first thing we've got to do is we've got to thread our needle. So we choose our piece of thread, and what we're looking for is an end. Can we see there? It's not in a loop, it's an end. Okay, so once we've found the end, we need to poke that through the hole at the end of a needle. Now, this is tricky, and your teacher might have decided to thread the needles for you, and that's fine, but I thought I'd show you how to do it in case Miss wants you to have a go, but also so you know how to do it at home. So what we need to do is once we've cut a piece of thread, we're going to poke it through the hole at the end of the needle, and that's going to leave us with two bits, a short bit, a short tail of thread, and then a long tail of thread. And at the end of this long bit we need to tie a knot. This is to stop your thread just going through the piece of cloth. And we loop it around our fingers a couple of times and poke it through and pull a knot. Again, your teacher might have done this for you, but it's good to have a try and it's good to know how to do it. So that's why I'm showing you. There's our knot, and that will stop it coming through the cloth. So now we're going to start sewing. We're going to go around the edges, and I want you to start in this corner of the top of the door, and you get your needle and you poke it through the back at that first little hole on the line. Now it's tricky to find it and it might take you a while. If you poke it in and it's the wrong hole, you just go backwards and take it out and try again. And there we go, pulling our thread through so the knot is right at the back. And now you're going to do your first stitch. You're going to poke it through on the line into the next hole, and you poke it down this time, and you carefully and slowly pull it through, and there's our first stitch. We're then going to keep following the line, poking our needle through the next hole, so it comes up from the bottom. You pull your thread through, then you go to the next hole on the line and you push it down and pull the thread through, and here we are stitching, everybody. In from the bottom, pull it through, down from the top, keep following the lines, keep finding the next little hole to poke it through, and we're sewing. Some of you might have done some sewing before. If you haven't, don't worry. I'm not expecting everybody to finish today. If everyone just has a go at a little bit of sewing, that will be fantastic work. So we just keep going now, all the way round our little house shape. All the way round. Up from the bottom, down from the top. Following the lines, poking it through the little holes. Now we're going to stop the video for a moment, and everyone can have a try. The next part of the video is showing you what to do if you have to join on a piece of thread because you run out of thread, or if you're ready to do the windows. Here we are, back again. We've stitched all the way around, but we've got these windows to do. And we need to add a bit more thread because we've run out. Some of you might have done it anyway. So have a look on the back here. what we're going to do is we're going to join on another piece of thread. And if I was carrying on doing the orange, because I was doing the lines, that's fine. But I'm going to change colours because I'm doing the windows and because I want you to see. If I use orange thread, you might not be able to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to use green. So the first thing you do is you carefully undo the little bit of thread and you find the loose end. Do you remember we did this before? Find the end. There it is. I found it. And you can begin to unravel and get your piece of thread. Lovely. We'll just snip that. Next thing to do, once you've got your piece of thread, is take off your needle. There we go. Carefully put it on the side so we don't lose it. And what we need to do is we need to tie the new piece of thread to the old piece of thread. But we want to do it as close down to our piece of cloth and material as possible. And we tie a knot. And we tie another knot to make it good and tight, making a loop, poking it through. And there is our knot. And our threads are now joined nice and tight. You could put a couple more knots in there if you wanted to. Now, I do know some of you will find knots difficult. So again, you might want your teacher to help you. If not, I'll show you a way of joining it without doing this. Now, I'm just cutting off the old bit of thread because it's tied on and we're now ready to do some more sewing, but of course we need to thread our needle on to do that. So same as before, poking it through the hole. Again, some will find this easy, some will find this hard. It's okay, it's all good practice. And we've got our thread through there again, and you can see how it's joined on. So to do the windows, I want you to start at the bottom corner of the window there and poke your needle through. Remember, if it goes wrong, you just put it back if it's the wrong hole. And we're going to do exactly what we did before. Up from the bottom, poke it through, down into the next hole, following the line, up and down, follow the line, up through the dot, down through the dot. That's it. And we keep going until we've gone all the way round. Now, once we've gone all the way round, we need to get to the new window, the next one. So what we need to do is we don't want to poke our needle going down there because we'll get a big stitch right the way across. We need to go from the back again. So if you put your thumb at the corner there, you can see where it is and just poke it through the little hole. Everybody see that? Poke it through the little hole. And we are ready again to sew. So we follow the line going up through the holes, down through the holes until we finish. Now, this is a nice opportunity to show you what to do when you've finished, because it's all beautifully sewn, but we're not quite done because we've got our piece of thread. And if we just cut it off, it will all come out again. So I'm going to show you how to tie it. What you do is you poke your needle underneath another stitch, and then you poke it through again. And you could do this 2, 3, 4 times even. You're making a knot. You're actually sewing a knot. And once you've done a little knot, you snip it off. Now, again, this is tricky. So if this is too difficult for you, what you can do is you can tape your piece of thread on with a little bit of masking tape and then snip off anything you don't need. So that's 2 ways of joining it. Remember to write your name on. I'm going to put Emma on there because I'm Emma Martin. And then everybody know it's my piece of sewing. Now, as I say, if you don't get this done in this lesson, it's fine. You can always put it in your drawer and do it on a rainy playtime or whenever you've got some spare time. It doesn't matter if you don't finish it today. It just matters you have a go. And there we are. We've joined some fabric with glue and we've learnt to do some sewing. Bye.